Look who's with me in studio again. Richard Fabic is back. We've been telling you Richard's story, his daughter Chloe, who was with her grandparents in Wuhan, because Richard and his wife, Yunfei, are moving from Toronto. There's Chloe, moving from Toronto to Victoria, and they just thought it would be a whole lot easier if she was there with grandparents in Wuhan, and of course got stuck in the lockdown, and how to get her back with her grandparents not being citizens, and it became all so complicated. Anyway, the bottom line is we have lots to tell you about Richard and what's going to happen to him. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I want to show you pictures.
Oh, perfect.
Watch here. There it is.
Oh, amazing.
There's the plane. On board with your daughter is on board, and it's down and she's safely home.
Yeah, I bet you she's screaming her head off at that exact moment.
Yeah. Because of the pressure.
She does not like flying.
She doesn't like flying?
No.
She has no idea, though, how happy that you probably are to see that. How does that make you feel to see her plane coming
So
in?
happy, just ecstatic, really.
Really?
Yeah, I can't even describe it, just to know that she's on Canadian soil now.
I bet. It's been a long time, and you've talked to us about how, you know, the tension has been increasing as this lockdown has continued.
Absolutely.
And then what's going to happen, and will she be able to come home? You haven't heard from anybody like your in-laws in the time they've been on the ground, have you?
No, not yet.
No?
Yeah, I think they're waiting for Wi-Fi connection.
Okay.
And then
What about in Vancouver? Because the plane did stop to refuel in Vancouver for a few hours. Did you hear anything from them at all?
Not directly, just indirectly, that other people said it touched down and then it's going to be taking off again.
It was a long flight. They will be
Yes,
tired.
Absolutely.
But that's going to be sort of immaterial. You are talking to me, and what are you doing immediately upon the conclusion of this interview?
I am heading to Trenton, Ontario, and I'm going to enter the evacuation or the quarantine zone with them for 14 days.
You got the special dispensation to do that.
Absolutely. They invited me, and of course I said yes, 1,000 times yes. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are your expectations?
Really, I'm only focused on seeing Chloe, playing with her, hugging her, doing whatever she wants to do, just spending time with her.
Here she is here. These are some of the images that I know you've been sending in from her time over there. A lot of changes in the time that she's been away, right?
Yeah, she was practicing walking more. Just with the airport, it's quite big, so she was just trying to walk around wherever she can as her grandparents were hovering over her.
And you were keeping in touch through all of that time.
Yes.
What have you packed for, we'll get to Chloe in a second, but for you going into quarantine for 14 days?
Just clothes, typical things that I need, toothbrush, and then some Peppa the Pig dolls for her, because that's her favorite.
Special treats, special new prezzies for when she gets off the plane. What information, though, have you heard or have you received from government officials, if any, in terms of what lies ahead when you're in that place?
I haven't received much information, just not to show up before noon there. And I know most of the information I get is actually from the media on the details, like where it is and whatnot, what to expect. So the official emails that I receive, communication, it's pretty formal, but most of the detail is actually from the media.
From reports. So we're looking at pictures. We were looking there at the lodge. It's called a lodge. It looks a little bit like a hotel, and these are the accommodations that you'll be in. Your family all together in one room, so it'll look like that.
Yeah.
And as you see that, thoughts?
That's great. I mean, it's better than staying in barracks or something like that, right? I mean, there's going to be privacy. We'll have our own bed, own washroom. I mean, I'm just going to be spending time with her, so wherever she wants to go, I'll follow.
I think there won't be much room to go too far, though. I think you're sort of confined to quarters, and they will be bringing you your meals and everything like that. Perhaps boredom and monotony is the thing you'll face most.
I'm looking forward to it. After these couple months, bring it on.
You're looking forward to that a little bit. Any word about how your in-laws have done through all of this time?
They've continued to remain hopeful. I think they were shielded from a lot of what's happening. They got tidbits about, you know, how we're trying to raise awareness to get them home, everything that the government is working through, what some of the media reports are saying. So they were largely hopeful that this would get done and we would figure out a way.
And your wife, as she watches from afar, because she's out in Victoria already.
Yeah. I mean, her and I, we were, there was times where it was tough. It really was. We weren't sure if we'd have to just have them waited out there, or if we'd be able to find a solution, or if they would be left behind. So it was very an emotional journey.
I bet it is, but it's coming to its conclusion.
Yes.
Overall, your thoughts on how this has been handled?
I think we were slow out of the gate, but I think our government had taken into account some of the other missteps that other governments have taken in their rush to evacuate. So far, I'm quite impressed. They've taken into consideration some of the other, those missteps about people being left behind, not having enough time, not having a proper screening in place to stop those that may be exhibiting some symptoms. So, and then just from what I see from Trenton, it looks like they're really taking people's concerns and well-beings into account. So I'm very thankful and appreciative of all that effort.